Veterans Jack Sprague and Ron Hornaday know that feeling well, but winning the 1998 title, that's not an easy task. Since January, these two rivals have slugged it out lap after lap, race after race, swapping the points lead 9 times. With 3 races remaining, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship battle. It's a tough short track, the Bull Ring at Bakersfield. So strap in. The Dodge California Truck Stop 300 next. A spectacular weekend at the 50th anniversary of NASCAR. It was Jeff Gordon under the lights at Daytona, Earnhardt Jr. at Gateway. Freddie Query just won at Nashville, and now we get ready for the third from the final race in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Dodge California Truck Stop 300 from Mason Marin Raceway in Bakersfield a week ago in the tight point battle. Ron Hornaday, the point leader over Jack Sprague. Then he broke an axle. His crew went to work. He was able to get back on the track, and he wound up 23rd. Sprague finished 9th, and today, Sprague has an 18-point advantage as we come here to this paperclip half mile, getting ready for the action. And a good day, everyone. Welcome to TNN and some fantastic truck racing on the track that spawned this entire series. Consider this in this point battle as we get down to Hornaday versus Sprague. Hornaday has led 766 laps, Sprague 761 on the season in 24 races. Hornaday 14 top 5s, Sprague 13 top 5s. This is a decision time, and no better place to do it than on this track, Mesa Marin, where it all began several years ago. Now, working with me today as we get ready for this, you've seen him in truck competition as a Grand National champion. He is certainly one of the great stars of this game, and it's great to have you along. Who do you think is going to win this thing?
Well, thanks, Ken. It's going to be exciting. This is with 3 races to go. This is the final short track, the final bull ring. And the deal is Ron Hornaday's the man on these kind of racetracks. Ron knows he needs to gain as many points as possible on Sprague. Sprague knows he can't let him get too far ahead. Sprague's got to hang in there and get a good finish. With just 2 races left, anything can happen. I think it might come down to the last lap of the last race in Las Vegas.
And Chuck Bowen knows his way around this track. He'll give us some great insight on what it takes to win on this very serious half mile. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Ken, the coast-to-coast title race is in its final stretch run. Last year, point leader Jack Sprague was strongest over the final 3 races with an average finish of 5.0. But that's history. Today he starts 10th, while Ron Hornaday rides into his home track, 18 points in the hole. But first on the grid, he shattered his old track record in qualifying. That feverish pace is indicative of his championship plight. Ron, you won here 3 years ago. Can you throw caution to the wind today and race for the victory, or do you have to think about points?
A little of everything, but we definitely need this win. Fred Graves and I on this Napa Chevrolet has been just working on this thing. We're gonna make the thing try to win this race.
Well, Hornaday knows his path around this racetrack. He's led over 60% of the truck laps run here at Bakersfield, but there's one other guy in today's field who can go head-to-head with Hornaday about a Bakersfield experience. He's with my colleague, Bobby Gerald.
And that man is Kevin Harvick, the driver of car number 75. No driver this weekend has more laps than Harvick. He's competed in 4 divisions here this weekend, was a winner Friday night in the Featherlight Southwest Tour action. And Kevin, so much of the focus right now is on Sprague and Hornaday. Can you be the spoiler today?
Well, I tell you what, we've got more laps this weekend than anybody, but this truck's been good in practice, and I don't know, we'll have to see. I don't have any points to race for, so nothing for me to hold back.
Ken Squire, if fans can help these drivers along today, then Harvick will have a big advantage because the hometown crowd's going to be making a lot of noise for number 75.
They sure are when he rolls out of that second row. 100-mile-per-hour straightaways, hard braking into the Mesa Marin high banks. Get ready for racing, wrecking, and serious carrying on at Bakersfield.
Green flag. 30 laps to go. Go hard, bud. A lot of rear damage. A lot of rear damage.
We're ready ready to crank them up at Bakersfield. The mare is here.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
I had like two different.
Mare Bob Price of Bakersfield has turned a few laps over this rugged half mile.
They
and
say-
rugged it is.
They say he's hit every wall out, every turn wall out here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but he hasn't been upside down.
All right, let's take a look at the AutoZone preparation for the race. AutoZone, more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. The best parts in auto parts. AutoZone. There you see it for what they're racing, and the distance of 150 miles. That pit window at about 80 laps. The expectation is there may be some flags flying before then, and there you see the past winners. Hornaday winning it a couple of times. Race number 25 of 27, 2 left after today. Phoenix next Saturday, and then on to Vegas. And the field begins to roll. Let's take a look at our 104 plus octane boost starting grid. Ron Hornaday going after that 7th win this year, and Stacy Compton right there in row number 1. It's Mike Bliss, and he'll be lined up with Terry Cook in row number 2. For row 3, it's Kevin Harvick, the local star these days out of Bakersfield, and Joe Ruttman. Row 4 has Rick Crawford and Horace Said, who had that first big win just a week ago at Sears Point. Row 5 is Tony Roper from Missouri, Jack Sprague from Michigan, working for his 5th win today. Row 6, Greg Biffle from Washington, and from North Carolina, Dennis Setzer. Row 7 is Tony Raines from Indiana, and Wisconsin's Jay Sauter. In row 8, Rick Corelli, the High Plains drifter, who was very much a part of this track, and Jimmy Hensley from Virginia. In row 9, it's Barfield and Renfro ready to go. Row 10 will be the outstanding rookie Andy Houston and Lance Norrick from Oklahoma. Row 11, Indiana's Randy Tulsma and Mike Wallace from Missouri. Row 12 is Doug George. Coming with him is Szynski. And then in row number 13, Bill Sedgwick and Scott Walters. Row 14 today is Brandon Sterling and Butch Miller. For row 15, D.A. Wilson out of Texas and Stan Boyd from Michigan. Row 16, Las Vegas native Wayne Jacks and a 17-year-old Augie Vidovich from Lakeside, California. And in row number 17, you have Millen Garrett and Jerry Cook rounding out the field. 34 starters. We've got one truck having problems already trying to get up to speed. Field getting down. There are 4 preliminary laps on this half mile. Crowd standing and waving. Good 9,000 folks out here today filling the place. Take a look at the in-car trucks for today's race. You're riding with Dennis Setzer, who's right there on the outside of row number 6.
And that's a new full-time ride now for for Dennis Setzer in the Bob Keselowski Mopar truck, so he's excited about that.
Look at that 18-degree bank. Now into the back straightaway, and you're with Boris Said. Won at Sears Point a week ago on a great qualifying run this time around. Put him up to 8th, number 44 for the Federated Auto Parts truck. Ron Hornaday. Boy, what pictures he's going to give you. Broke the track record. I mean, he smashed it from 95.4 mile per hour run. The old record, 92.5.
We might have that view out his windshield a lot today. Clean, clear sailing with him leading the race. He's running awful fast.
Couple of laps before they crank him down to a green flag. Here's Jimmy Hensley. He is starting 16th on today's race.
You need to watch him. He had a strong run at Nashville and won the race. These tracks are very similar.
And he's really good on this size racetrack. Let's see, who else have we got out here? Mike Bliss, number 2 for sure.
Mike Bliss is looking for a ride for next year. He's departing with the 2 truck, and he'll be wanting to win this thing, raise his stock a little bit.
And he knows this track. He's had a lot of experience on this half mile. And finally, you have Roper coming in here. There's Tony's number 55. Pictures there from starting 9th on the field.
Driving for Tom Gloy, the ex-road racer, in the beer truck.
One lap, and they will be racing record weekend here at Mesa Marin, Bakersfield, California. Winston Racing Series. Adamo set a new record. Southwest Series, he'd set a record there as well. Winston West, John Woodside broke the old record. Craftsman Truck Series, Hornaday, as we mentioned, knotted it up by 3 miles per hour. 24
trucks in all broke the track record. It's about a little more than a half a second faster, and all they did was put sealer on it, but it's really coming in. We're about a half lap from green flag.
Get yourself set, folks. Cinch up in that easy chair because this one's going to be a dandy.
300 laps is tough here. It's going to be a grind, and Hornaday and Sprague have to survive.
7-degree banking in the straightaways. Pretty strong braking going into these corners, and you really have to dig coming out of corner number 2. You really come out of the hole there. Better than 100 miles per hour in these straightaways.
Nice slow start, but Hornaday got some wheel spin right when he nailed his model, and Stacy Compton was able to get an edge and jump to the lead in that outside.
It's Compton jumping out in front.
It's pretty rare you see Ron Hornaday get a poor start. He is the king of starts.
He got caught that time, and it's Compton for the lead. And there they are side by side, sashaying out of turn number 4 and lap number 1 with the Royal Crown Cola Ford out in front.
It's always nice to see the first lap go clean, and it did today. Everybody's keeping straight.
Hornaday in second, Cook back there in third. Stacy Compton looking for that third career victory. Had a lead opportunity 6 times on the 98 campaign. Hornaday begins to close down on him.
Compton run one race back in Portland, Oregon. Track similar to this also. It's a little bit flatter, not quite this bank, but Stacy's got a lot of laps on this type of racetrack.
Ride with Ron Hornaday into the main straightaway. Really carries some speed down in here. Nice, easy run as Stacy Compton just glides it in there. Lifts it up. Great throttle control. Mike Bliss lying back there in fourth. Now Hornaday to the outside. Here comes Hornaday trying to punch his way through. Lifts it up. Fights his way down into turn number 1. Wheel to wheel. Even now Hornaday just breaking out in front. Compton back on the inside, but not for long.
He's going to make it fair and square on the outside. That's one good thing about this racetrack. There's 2 grooves out there. When you see an outside pass that early in the race, it's going to be a good show.
Stacy Compton, who won out here in the West at Portland, Oregon earlier this season. Falling back to second, 2 truck lengths behind the number 16, Ron Hornaday.
That's where Ron Hornaday wants to be, is out in front with no traffic. Just a clean, clear racetrack right in front of him. He needs to win this race and close in on Jack Sprague.
Sprague leading Hornaday by 18 points in the race with today. Then next Saturday, as they move on to Phoenix and close in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. And
Bliss taking a look on the inside of Terry Cook. It looks like he's going to make the pass getting into turn 3.
Got it.
Rick Crawford trying to come along with him. Terry Cook's going to get hung out of that outside.
Sprague started 10th. He's up to 8th. Remember, Sprague has the point advantage. 18 the difference. Riding with Mike Bliss.
And we're looking out of the back of Mike Bliss's truck at Rick Crawford. They're battling for the 3rd and 4th positions. Oh, we got a
spin in 4 and picked up. It is Sprague around and away again.
I just glanced up and saw him spinning. I don't know what happened. Ruttman just barely missed him, was able to continue on. There's no caution. We're staying green.
But falling way back is Jack Sprague.
That's right. And it didn't do his tires any good either. I'm not sure what happened.
He fell to 14th at the line, and I think he's even further back than that. Count them off as they come by. Sprague getting caught out of turn number 4.
Battle back up there for second with Stacy Compton, Mike Bliss wanting it. Hornaday's riding along in the lead right in front of him.
Almost a 16th spot. Here you see Crawford closing up on Bliss. That's the battle for 3rd.
Bliss is getting off the corner pretty good. He's taking a charge now, Stacy Compton.
Mesa Marin, Bakersfield, California is where the action is today. The Craftsman Truck Series. Hornaday out in front. It's a must-win situation for him. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Ken, if anybody here today, the guy who has the best winning percentage at Mesa Marin is Fred Graves, Ron Hornaday's crew chief. Back in 1979, he came here with a super modified and won the event in his first ever time here at Bakersfield. Last year when they were here in practice, Fred said, look, Ron, when I ran here, I almost got into an accident, so I went really high in turns 3 and 4, and it seemed to pick the car up. Why don't you try that in practice? Ron tried it last year, and he was dominant. He dominated the race until rear-end failure KO'd his win, and they're going to use that strategy again today, running up high, conserving the tires, and it helps the truck here at Bakersfield.
We'll take a break right now with Hornaday in front, followed by Compton, Bliss. Crawford and Said is having a great run, currently in 5th. 21 laps are now complete. Hornaday is out in front, as you can see right there, with Stacy Compton hugging in that second spot. But the big story is Jack Sprague. He was fighting for 7th position, fell back to 16th after he spun in turn number 4. And here's Jack Sprague weaving, working his way back through traffic up behind Rick Pirelli at the present time. Let's go to Matt Yoakum for more on this number 24, Sprague.
Ken, I spoke to his crew chief, Dennis Connor. Dennis said Jack didn't say anything on the radio, but right now nothing is wrong with the truck, and he is the fastest truck on the racetrack, faster than the leader. He just told Jack, look, put it out of your mind. Let's just get back in our groove. Chuck, when something like that happens, how long does it take you to get back in your groove?
Well, as experienced as Jack Sprague is, not long, just a couple laps. He must have, made a little mistake down there, maybe got in the dirt coming off turn 4. I've seen some people doing that. He knows what he has to do, and he's trying to make up for it right now.
He's picked up another position. He's up to 12. Pirelli just in front of him, now in 11th. Cook in 10th. And Rutman has broken into the top 10. He's in 9th. Here you see Sprague. There's the 88 bobbing to the outside Cook. That's all the advantage Pirelli needs. A real veteran at this track and a former track champion. This track is why he became known, Pirelli, as the High Plains Drifter, that number 6. 1,800 miles the distance between here and Denver. And he used to drive his bread truck down on Saturday night to compete here at Mesa Marin in Bakersfield, California, and then home to race in Denver on Sunday night. 3,600 miles. That's how much Pirelli loves racing. Look at Sprague down to the inside, trying to make his move. He's there. He's got Pirelli pinned. He's through. Sprague picking up still another spot as he slides up through traffic and takes 10th. Got a note here on the number 86, Stacy Compton, who's got his hands full with Mike Bliss in this battle for second. Bliss on the inside, Compton on the outside. Let's go to Bobby Jarrell.
Well, Ken Squire, Stacy Compton likes Mesa Marin Raceway, and for good reason. Last year, he started 17th and was able to charge all the way up to second. He's driving a car this weekend that they call Mila, the same car that he won in at Portland earlier this year and finished 3rd at Phoenix. So Stacy Compton, a lot of confidence, really enjoys racing here at Mesa Marin.
6 times a leader on the season with that truck that's battling back there in second spot, having a little problem right now. We'll talk more about that in a moment. 34 of 300 laps complete. Nary a caution to date. Stacy Compton was having a problem. The problem was the number 2, Mike Bliss, who went right up and looked like he was going around him, and Compton took off like a scared rabbit. He's pulled back up on Hornaday, and here he is challenging for the lead as they come around to complete lap number 35. Down the main straightaway. Compton losing ground. Here comes Mike Bliss back into it. 3-way battle for the lead.
Hornaday staying up in that second groove to protect his tires, and it's really tempting Stacy Compton. But now Bliss is jumping to the outside and trying to take advantage of Stacy.
And tire conservation is the story here today.
Now that's big at Bakersfield. I know last year this racetrack got extremely slippery and a lot of wheel spin, but it's so much faster this year, I don't think it's going to be quite the problem that it was last year. Compton and Mike Bliss are both like that.
Averaging averaging 91 miles per hour in these laps that you're watching now. As we say, much better than 100 miles per hour in the chute. Then you touch the brakes going in. You can run the inside. That can give you some speed. But the outside, that works pretty darn well, too.
Hornaday's feeling a little heated there. He went down to the bottom to try to get away from them guys a little bit. They were beating them, pressuring them about 10 laps ago, and then they come to some lap trucks, and Ron opened up a few truck lengths. But now that they're back in clean track, those guys will run right back up on him. Bliss has got second. He's wanting to lead.
And they say the way around here to save tires is up the
just had a problem. I don't know if he just slipped or if the right front tire's going down, but he's got a flat. He's coming to pit road.
Compton coming in unscheduled. Lap 39, Stacy Compton on pit road. Bliss takes over and begins to attack. Hornaday stays in front. Horace Said moves into 3rd in the number 44.
That's too bad. A green flag pit stop will just ruin you here. He's going to go down at least 2 laps. It takes a while to travel at pit road at a designated speed and change that tire.
Look at this war for first position. Mike Bliss on the inside, Hornaday on the outside. Here comes Bliss back on the bottom, even across for the top spot.
Bliss can't quite get on that throttle on that inside groove. He can't drift out to the wall because Hornaday's there. And that's it takes a very patient foot to try to race him off that corner.
Keeps him pinched down. Mike Bliss had a good finish at Sears Point again last week. Things coming back together for him at this time. Looking very strong right now as he battles for the lead. Qualified third for this event.
He was so close to making that pass, but just can't quite use the throttle, getting off those corners like he needs to.
Second to Boris Said just a week ago at Sears Point. Here he is back to the inside main straightaway. Can he contain? No, sir. 16 Hornaday with that outside line for the moment has it. Now the number 2. Bliss sticks his nose
They're
out.
door to door. Dead even.
They're in each other's doors.
They need to be. Mike needs to drive it in just a little harder and slide into that 16. He'll let off. He's running for a championship.
Just about what he's doing.
It's a good show for the lead there. We've been green since the race started. These tires are starting to get warm and slippery, but the trucks are still handling very well. They're going where they want to put them, low or high.
ASE Racing Ford for Mike Bliss out of Milwaukee, Oregon has the lead here at Bakersfield, California. Mike Bliss taking command, second a week ago, now pops out in front. We can get more on the story on Stacy Compton right now. Here's Matt.
Ken, a tough break for Stacy Compton. He had a right front tire cut down, and when he went high in the corner, his crew chief Kevin Cramp said, "What's the problem?" He goes, "I think we cut down a tire," and he sure did. He brought it in, but the bad news, he didn't hit the wall, but the really bad news is that he went down a lap.
Went down 2, gone down 2 laps, and is running 30th.
I think that was just simply a matter of running over some debris on the racetrack or something that cut it. I mean, everything was well and fine, and the truck just jumped up a lane when we were heading on camera live, and it just scooted up the racetrack, and he had to come off the throttle immediately to pit road. It's too bad. It's going to be hard to make up 2 laps here.
Working the 47th lap. Mike Bliss in command here. 12th and final race on the short tracks. The half
Boris
mile.
said up there in third. He is running good today. That road race win last week at Sears Point must have given him the confidence he needed, because he's doing a fine job here today.
You can see him looking up at those leaders, just cutting through turn 3.
He's not very far behind Hornaday either. He's hanging in there pretty good.
Qualified well, running well. Has been gaining experience race after race. Looks like today could be a very fine day if he can keep this up. Meanwhile, in front, it's the number 2, Mike Bliss. Hornaday falling to second. And where in all of this is Jack Sprague? He lies 8th. Last year's winner is out of the event, and Bobby Jarrell is with it.
Hope to talk a whole lot about last year's winner, Randy Tolfa, but he didn't even get to take the green flag today. They had problems right before the beginning of the race. Randy, I know you're just as disappointed as we are. We wanted to see you defend your championship. What kept you from going today?
We just had a little motor failure early this morning, and this Pac West team, or NCI Dodge team, just been put together in the last minutes, and you know, we didn't have motors that matched with each other, and so things just took a little longer than expected. And don't get a chance to get out there and prove what we could do, but pretty happy with the truck yesterday, just trying to learn everything and learn the team and the group, and we'll be back for Phoenix in a week or so. And you know, I call myself a Christian, and this is the time that you better believe in some faith, and we have it. We'll be okay.
Randy Tolfa wishes he was racing today, Ken.
Another blowing right front tire on the 14 truck of Rick Crawford. And that brings out the yellow. He went up right clear to the wall, but I don't think he actually got into it. I think that was debris again. It just popped in the middle of 3 and 4, but he was fortunate nobody was outside of him.
And it carried him all the way up to the top. It looked like he was headed into the fence. And there is perhaps the reason the 58 sandwiched up into it. So for Wayne Jacks in his own truck.
That's at the other end of the racetrack over there in turn 2 where the tire blew in turn 4. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to check into that. 2
separate incidents. One on one end of the track and one on the other. But it's brought out the first caution. Lap 52 is when the yellow is flown. I'll tell you more about it when we return. 1 lap and we're going back under green. We've had several cars on pit road. Bliss came in. He made a pit stop. Tony Raines was in.
Yeah, and we had some others in the top 5. Boris said he made a pit stop. So I don't know if that's their strategy to go ahead and stop at lap 56 and start cycling the couple of sets of tires they get to use at 2 per caution. And most of them decided to wait and stick it out.
Ron Barfield also made a pit stop there as well. Compton pulls up. He's right behind the number 5 on the inside.
Let's be ready.
Vidovich, the youngster out of California.
Green flag.
On the restart, we've got Hornaday back in front, and in the second, Kevin Harvick, who is driving all 4 races being run on this big weekend in Bakersfield, California at Mason Marin. There's Harvick.
He's having a good season, Kevin. He's getting a lot of experience running these trucks full time. He's leading the West to West points. He's won some races in the West to West, and I don't think it'll be too long. He's going to win a race in Craftsman trucks.
Got trouble up in turn number 2. Jimmy Hensley up toward the wall. Caution coming back down. So our second caution after just another lap of green as Jimmy Hensley has the number 43 Dodge scored out from under him on the 18-degree banking in turn 1.
He stayed on the racetrack. I can't tell if his right front tire is down or not. He did not come directly to pit road. Yeah, it's down, definitely. Another right front tire.
Whoa.
Okay, Jimmy, get caught up and
We
come
were
on in
talking
here.
about tires being the issue, but we thought it was a matter of how to use them to get up there to lap number 80. Here we are at lap number 59. Let's take a listen to the radio here, see if we hear anything.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Jim. They said go ahead. NASCAR says go. Go, 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 go.
He stayed on the racetrack to close up to the pack under the caution so that he won't go down a lap changing his flat tire.
As he comes in, Crawford, who had a tire go down just prior to this, he's back in as well. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
35 miles per hour down pit road. Jimmy Hensley limps the Cummins Dodge. He thinks he might have run over something and cut down the right front tire, which is very similar to what happened we saw on the truck a little earlier on. They're going to change the outside tires. A disappointing deal for these guys. These guys have been on a tear over the past few weeks. Remember, he won at Nashville right here on TNN, and he's down and away. Tough break for Jimmy Hensley.
And there's the old smoker that came off.
After that blue, he made a full lap on it to stay on the lead lap, which was a good move. I don't think he damaged his truck. He's still on the lead lap and, repaired the flat tires, so he'll be okay. There's a lot of laps left to go. And this is an opportunity for Stacy Compton to try to get his lap back. He'll get the point beside Hornaday on the restart on the inside, and you can bet he'll be trying to get one of those 2 laps back.
So many of the drivers were comparing this track to Nashville, that it runs like Nashville, and that is where Jimmy Hensley had that brilliant victory this year in that Dodge. So now Hensley will have to fight it out from the 24th position is where he's going to be restarting, as we're showing 61 of the 300 laps complete, and there will be 1 lap before they take green after the second caution of the day. Now Crawford was also in again, and Crawford's going to be starting in 23rd position.
Going next time.
1 to go.
Next time.
Stacy Compton back there on the tail end of that lead lap, going to fight his way in from 26th position.
Now, the last restart just a few minutes ago, Stacy had a couple of other lap trucks in front of him in the inside lane. He was able to get by them on that short little green flag. So now he has the point beside Hornaday.
Right down to the number 5 was up there.
And due to these pit stops, we've got Sprague clear up to the 6th position. Ruttman 5th. Jay Sodders up to 4th. In 3rd place, his first time here ever, is a 29 truck with Dennis Setzer.
Quick word from Bobby Jarrell.
Guys, Tony Raines came down pit lane twice during that last exchange. The first time they had a jack failure. They had to get back out to stay on the lead lap. When they finally did make the stop, they changed right sides and put a turn of wedge in it, and now he's ready to go green.
Raines starting well back in the field, 22nd under green as they come around.
There goes Stacy,
64 laps.
One of those 2 laps back, and Harvick's going to take the lead. He's going to try to follow Stacy Compton through the inside on Hornaday.
Compton back in the lead lap. He'd sure like to see a caution right now. We've just experienced 2 with just a lap of green in between them. Hornaday on the outside, back around. Kevin Kid Harvick, number 75.
All right.
You can bet Harvick would like to pass Hornaday and lead this race here at Mason Marin.
You got that one right. Hey, take a look at Dennis Setzer up in 3rd. Keselowski's Dodge truck. Jay Sodders in 4th, and Sprague has come to 5th. Pirelli in 6, Rutland in 7. Saw that number 29 right there, Dennis Setzer, pride of the Carolinas, looking very good in the Keselowski rig. Battle for the lead.
Take another look at the inside, coming off the 4th turn. Now he pulls it back in line. He's going to keep the heat on Hornaday. He wants to, I don't know if Kevin's led a truck race yet. I'm certain he wants to do that. He had a good run last night in the Winston West race.
He's led 16 laps this year, Kevin Harvick, in the trucks.
Okay.
And had some very, very good runs. He's had a couple of top 5s and 4 top 10s. Kevin Harvick, a good all-around racer. Got one off from the brush and back.
No caution.
No. Brandon Spurley making his first appearance. That number 11. Looks like he got the back end of that rumpled up a little too. What's that look like on the...
Yeah, looks like somebody got in the left rear corner maybe at one point.
Red line
That's
oil.
Half-mile racing.
So there you are with the leaders once again. Harvick and Hornaday now hammering it out at Bakersfield. Stay with us. There's an old racing cliche about hell-hounding the high banks. Well, let me tell you, the folks at Mesa Marin are seeing it for real. This pair have swapped the lead 6 times, last 6 laps officially, and they're still at it. First, here's Ned Setzer just sitting here with his paws in the air in 3rd spot saying, thank you, I'll let these two knock each other around. And they are knocking each other around.
They've been doing a little rubbing and beating and banging. They have traded the lead many times. It looks like there's 10 laps to go. That's what it's been looking like.
Harvick and Hornaday. First one, then the other would dip to the inside and just barely nudge the other truck. Get him out of the line just a bit and bang his way through on the inside. First one, then the other. Tell you, and look at that Dodge ramble up in there. Make no mistake about it, we're at Mesa Marin, last of what they call the bull rings. And we've got some real bulls out there today.
Casey Compton still staying just up in front of them guys, 1 lap down. But the first 5 trucks are getting pretty tight, and Sprague's one of them. He's back up to 5th.
No Ferdinand smelling the roses on this one. This is all out. Great truck racing. Meanwhile, Stacy Compton, you see here, has drawn about 10 truck lengths in front of this 3-way battle now between Hornaday, Harvick, and Setzer.
I think Hornaday would like to get up and take it easy on his tires in that 2nd groove, but Harvick will go by him if he does. He's kind of forced to go down and run the bottom groove. The fast groove is more abusive to a set of tires.
You see that we're looking at NASCAR timing and scoring presented by MCI. Big help. Laps to go on this one.
This is Dennis Setzer's first trip to Bakersfield. He's adapting very well, but again, it's a typical half-mile bull ring. He's been around a lot of them like this.
There was a little chit-chat on the radio just as we were coming back from commercial about he's been riding me pretty high. I hope he doesn't. Seems to be a little more respect at this point. They were throwing at each other.
There's a long way to go, 220 laps.
Indeed. But look at Setzer ready to mix it up. He'd love a great finish. And that's a fine truck that Keselowski's given him.
The Chevy and the Dodge going at it. Setzer in the Dodge, Harvick in the Chevrolet.
Here he comes, popping up out of the inside.
He's got him. It's a clean pass. In the meantime, while those two are battling, Hornaday was able to open up 2 or 3 truck lengths, but that can go away quick on this little racetrack. You've got Jay Sauter creeping into the picture there behind Harvick in 4th position.
How about this race? Mike Bliss moving around. Boris said that's for 11th spot. Boris said looks like he wants to get right back into it again.
Kevin Slawinski's moved up to the 13th position right behind Boris.
And that is 4 positions. Slawinski is right in that lap as well, running in the 13th position with Butch Miller 14th and Cook in the 88 back in 15th. But George is 16th.
Both Boris and the 2 truck of Mike Bliss pitted on that last caution, so they went to the rear and they're working their way back up. They've got 2 tires a little bit fresher than the first 5 or 6 guys, but they've given up some track position for it.
The Allied Signal, the Bendix brake truck, that number 31 getting on the inside of Boris said.
Slawinski, make a pass.
Didn't get it that time. Took over for Tony Roper. when he went to the 55 truck.
Bob Reback's truck, number 31 Bendix Ford.
Good slugfest here, and down to the inside, you've got Kevin Sawinski in that Bendix brake truck making a move.
There's Butch Miller and the Dana Dodge coming into the picture right behind them guys.
Give him 12th, and he'll go looking for Bliss. Number 75, Kevin Harvick here. We got a big smoker in the main straightaway. Did he lose an engine?
B.A. Wilson.
His caution out. We've got caution on the speedway for B.A. Wilson.
I got a feeling we're going to see wholesale pit stops now. It's lap 88, and the leaders have not stopped yet. They're going to have to come in and get a couple of tires and some fuel.
Third caution for B.A. Wilson. Looks like the engine expired on number 65.
He's going right behind the wall. That's terminal. He's finished. That's too bad.
Came down the main straightaway. B.A. Wilson making a run here. The Texan in the Lumar Windows Ford, qualified 29th, is done for the day.
I don't really see an oil slick on the racetrack. You know, I'm sure he lost some, and NASCAR's going to check it, but I don't think it'll be too bad of a cleanup.
Like you said, all the leaders are on pit road. Yeah, everybody.
Except for Greg Biffle. He stayed out, but and Bill Sedgwick.
Let's see what happens down there in Ron Hornaday's pits.
The 1995 winner makes his way into his pit stall. He's been complaining the truck was a little bit loose. They're going to adjust the Napa Chevrolet with air pressure. Meanwhille, the point leader, Jack Sprague, he'd been complaining his truck was a little bit on the loose side, so they're too going to make some adjustments with air pressure. Sprague is still in his pit box. They're race off pit road. Hornaday is going to win it. Let's go to Bobby Jarrow.
Rick Corelli having a problem getting out of his pit box as the 43 of Hensley had stopped kind of cockeyed in the pit area. That slowed up Corelli just a little bit. The stop was 17 seconds. They changed right sides, and the High Plains Drifters back at it.
We'll take a quick break and rejoin you here at Bakersfield. Oh, we've got a barn burner. Bullring truck race today. Just back and taking green. Underway once again at Mesa Marin in the final short track Craftsman truck race of 1998. And on the start, it is Biffle out in front after the pit stop. He came out first, and he has a 4 truck length advantage over Hornaday in second. And look who's popped up in third. Here's Jack Sprague working at it. Sedgwick in the number 4 is a lap down. That red truck, Billy Sedgwick, 1 lap down as he returns to this racing.
I think Greg Biffle was the only truck on the lead lap that passed up this caution and did not stop. And Sprague went from 5th position to 3rd position with the pit stop. He had a real good stop.
Here's the number 43, Jimmy Hensley, working his way through on the bottom as he tries to get back in this thing. Remember, he had a problem a little earlier and is back in 21st position. Now to Matt Yoakum for this week's Dodge Innovation in Motion.
Ken, back in the spring, the track officials laid down a new sealer here at Bakersfield to help the track's abrasiveness. It seemed to help in qualifying as 24 trucks broke the track record. It did help up speed, pick speed up, Fred. What did you guys as a crew team had to do to dial this truck in to make up for that speed?
Well, really, it's not a whole lot of difference. We're running the same setup pretty much that we ran at Nashville. It just got a lot more grip. We actually spun the tires on the bead on the wheels, which I haven't done that before. So there's a lot more grip than what there used to be.
But a lot of guys are hoping that that grip will move up to the second lane, which it appears that Ron Hornaday has already found.
You know, what he just explained is that the tire is getting such adhesion to the racetrack, the wheel itself is spinning inside the tire. You see that in dragsters. You don't see that much in NASCAR.
And it's the inside that chews it up. If you run that bottom line, it's like running a cheese grate. Meanwhile, Hensley's picking another spot. He's in 20th. Lance Norrick just in front of him. And Stacy Compton is in 18th position after that series of pit stops. Biffle in the number 50 falling back a bit. Hornaday has taken over the lead. And here comes Jack Sprague working his way into second and Bliss for third. Biffle, who did not take on tires on that
starting
stop.
to show. He took off for a couple laps, but now that everybody's up to temperature and going, he's getting kind of hung out on the outside a little bit. Setser's the next one to try to make a move on him, take a position.
You see as they come down the main straightaway, it's the the Setzer rig that's making the move at the present time, climbing up through here. We'll take a commercial break and be back for more with 101 complete. With Chuck Bound, Ken Squire here. We've now completed 106 of 300 laps. Mesa Marin, half mile is where it is. Great crowd out here today to enjoy the Craftsman Truck Series. 3 races to go on the season. They move back to Phoenix, Arizona, and then to Las Vegas. Phoenix next Saturday, the week after, up in Vegas. So it's back to the big tracks for them. But the action on these short tracks just unexcelled. Here is Ron Hornaday out in front. And as you see, Mike Bliss has taken over in second. Jack Sprague has fallen to third. A moment ago, we heard on the radio.
Jason on 37's got a flat left rear. Watch him close.
I got one out there with a left rear going flat and could be a problem. We're telling Hornaday that Sprague was closing. He said, I'm ready to give him a driving lesson. On, you've got the spin. It's Walters in number 37 spinning in turn 2. He clears and he's out of there. Yellow is out.
One of the spotters has seen that tire going down on the 37 truck and just told their driver, watch out for the 37. They called it pretty good because he didn't make another half lap and he went on around with that flat.
Walters in the number 37 Chevrolet. Started 26. Not having much fun on that one. He was in 23rd when it finally went out from beneath him. Left rear down. Brings out the 4th caution of the day.
These guys might come back in to the left sides. This is kind of a back-to-back caution. They got their rights.
Now you can only change 2 tires under caution.
Okay, 10-4, we're going to try to wait till around halfway through to give you left side.
Ride it out with their existing left sides. Now Biffle and Rutland are coming into the pits.
And following them as well is Sawinski.
Kevin Sawinski is the 55, Tony Roper.
Rutland along. And here come a few others back a little further. See the 55, Tony Roper making his way on. Crawford comes in. Lance
Butch
Miller.
Miller. Butch just had a little body damage. He got together with Rick Crawford coming off turn 4. Got the right front fender a little bit. They'll probably take a peek at that when they finish the tires.
Bob Jarrell.
Sides for Joe Rutland in number 99. He got down and away cleanly and very quickly. 8 career wins for Joe Rutland, looking for number 9 here today. And he's got a great string. He's finished 4th in 3 of the last 5 races, guys.
Doing some really good racing. We'll take a quick break, get back and tell you more about what happens at Bakersfield in the bull ring today. Battle for the Craftsman Truck Series Championship heating up. Ready to go green another time. 114 laps complete. Bringing them on down. Hornaday, Bliss, and Sprague. The top 3. Setzer, Harvick, Wallace. Wallace, who had started 22nd, up to 6. Jay Sauter in 7. Morissette in 8. And it's Andy Houston, 9th, Corelli in 10th as we get back at it another time.
They're 3 wide on the back stretch going into the 3rd turn there, but everything's fine. They got double pile when it really counted.
One thing about this racetrack, if you run the inside on that crater that is down there, it will eat up tires, and the left side rubber does get chewed up here. You have to change lefts like you would rights on this track.
Yeah, the track's got enough banking in it. There's a lot of weight even on the left side tires as you go through these bank corners. It works everything on the trucks.
You see Jay Sauter, number 3. That's the 7th position, and you're looking at Jay Sauter in that spot as you ride with Boris Said. Napa field standings here. Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, they keep America running. Running right now, as Boris Said, slips down on the inside. Tries to make that run on the number 3. Hangs it in there. Only changed 2 tires under caution in the Craftsman Truck Series. If you want to change all 4 under green, be our guest.
And that short track.
Figure you're down a lap or 2.
Short track racing is exciting. I love to watch this stuff.
And there you see the number 60 of Houston mixing it up. He's mixed it up more than once this year and won it. There's a chip off the old block if there ever was one. Sedgwick in the number 4 up on the outside. And Dennis Setzer noses his way down through. Remember, Setzer in the 29 is in 4th. And the blue and white number 75, Harvick, is in 5th.
The number 4 they're going by is Bill Sedgwick. He's a lap down. They're just trying to get to clean racetrack. But Sedgwick's racing them hard.
Yeah,
He's not just moving over and letting them go.
Bobby Jarrow has some more information about Setzer in the 29.
Well, guys, most of the teams changed right side tires, but Bob Keselowski, Dennis Setzer, you guys changed the left side. What was the reasoning for that?
Well, we're going to use a little different strategy. Hopefully, we'll be good to go on left side tires. We figured we needed one left side tire change. That'll take care of that. And if we get past the half and get a set of rights, I think we'll be good to go.
Right now, Dennis Setzer looking to become, along with some of these Ford drivers out here, the first non-Chevrolet to win at Mesa Marin in Craftsman truck competition.
If Chevy can pull it off today, either of the top 2 spots, they will sew up that manufacturer's championship for another year in NASCAR Craftsman truck titles badly. They are really working on it.
Bliss has just went by Hornaday on the inside. He just out-muscled him and took the lead. You know, he's starting to put the heat on Hornaday just before that caution came out. And evidently, at this point of the race, he's got a strong truck.
With more on the new race leader, Mike Bliss, here's Matt.
Ken, the 2 truck has clawed his way into the lead on pit strategy. Crew Chief Barry Dodson for Mike Bliss called him in on lap 54 to change left side tires. He wanted to gamble and check and see if left sides would tighten up the truck. It didn't, but the result was he now has 54-lap pressure tires on the left side. When they pitted on lap 89, he took on right, so he has much pressure tires, and that has helped push the 2 truck into the lead.
That was a good strategy on their part. It's worked out well. He's already made up the track position and has better tires, so he's looking good.
Taking a look a little further back, you saw in 4th Harvick, and then the 75 and 29 squaring off in this thing.
Mike Wallace and Danny Schrader's number 52 Pure 1 truck.
Harvick and Setzer continuing their war.
Wallace up to the 5th position where he started. He's having a good day.
Now, Mike Wallace is having a terrific day, but Bliss, I tell you what, he runs well here and he knows this track. Remember last year he was on 3rd behind Talsman, and Stacy Compton had that terrific battle at the finish of the race here at Bakersfield.
Speaking of Stacy Compton, scoring has him on the lead lap, so evidently he was only 1 lap down. That lap he made up has got him back on the lead lap in 14th position.
Closing on Rutman in the 99 is Compton. Here's your battle. Here's Harvick. And here comes, well, that's Walters, who's down a lap. Harvick in the 75, having to deal with Wallace in the 52, and there he is.
That's for position there with the 52 truck. That's for the 4th position. Wallace is taking it away from Harvick. The 37 truck's fast. He just came in and got those 2 tires, and he brought out the yellow with the flat he had. He's trying to make a lap of it.
So he's running with the leaders, but he's back in 21st. Walters in the 37.
There's Dennis Setzer getting up on the back of the Spears truck. And he's the one that just took the left side tires. Most all the other leaders took right sides, and his truck's keeping up. It's very competitive. Might turn out to be a good move for him.
12th and 13th spots here. That's Cook
Rutman,
in the 88.
Terry Cook, and Stacy Compton.
Terry Cook in the 88.
There's Butch Miller trying to get under Stacy. Kevin Sawitzki right behind them.
The 31's right in there, too.
Rutman taking a look. I think he needs to nudge him just a little bit. It's a lot easier that way.
131 laps are complete. Gone through 4 cautions. Mike Bliss, for the moment, has the advantage over Hornaday and Sprague, 2nd and 3rd at Bakersfield. Don't forget, tonight on TNN, stay tuned for a whole evening of great hunting and fishing action. And it all starts after the Dodge California Truck Stop 300 with Buckmaster at 7:30 Eastern on TNN Outdoors. Doug George is out of the race. 35 is back to the garage area, and the hood is up on George's rig.
Some Barfield in there, Barfield.
They're correct.
I think they're trying to get it back out there. It looks like they're definitely working on it and going at it, but he's got some serious problems. He's going many laps down as we speak.
2 laps ago, Mike Bliss did a lap at 92.4. That was equal to the 1-lap qualifying record a year ago. Now he's down to about 89 miles an hour as he works through traffic. The point of that is that Sprague had seemed to fall back over the last 2 or 3 laps, running at about 90 miles per hour. In fact, right now he's at 89.6. What do you think?
Well, you know, he's just struggling a little bit. But right now, I think the key is the 2-truck, Mike Bliss, is just setting a tremendous pace. He's already lapping Greg Biffle, who was up at the front not long ago. His pit stop, you know, wasn't that bad. They all pitted, and boy, here he is getting lapped. The 2-truck opened up a lot of distance on Ron Hornaday. Now they're coming to lap traffic. Let's see if Hornaday can run him back down. I don't think so, though. Bliss is getting through the traffic very smoothly. He's being patient, and he's doing what he needs to do.
Biffle, 19th as he is lapped.
Rick Crawford going down a lap. He's catching some of the faster trucks. Going to make a long day for him. There's the 84 truck right up in front of your leader, Mike Bliss. And that's Doug George this weekend. He's getting the car there.
Let's find out about
Motor cable truck.
Let's find out about Ron Barfield right now, and Chuck, and
okay.
Now with Bobby Jarrett.
Ron Barfield back in the garage area. The hood is up. Ron, what's the problem?
I'll tell you, this Northwest Chevrolet, I mean, we were just kind of surviving out there today, and, you know, we broke a motor. This is the first time we've had this kind of motor in a truck in a while, and, you know, it just let us down here, but, you know, like I say, we'll take our losses here, and we'll get back out there and try to get as many points as we can, and we'll go on to Phoenix next week.
And the points are crucial right now for Ron Barfield, who's trying to stay in the top 10, Ken, right now currently sitting in 9th coming in this weekend.
And falling laps behind. So there's about a 15-truck separation between first and second Hornaday, and the same interval back to Sprague in third. Check out NASCAR online before, during, and after the race at NASCAR.com. It's your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass. Riding with Roper, 22nd position. The Ice House number 55 has been iced in this one, lapped down now, as Mike Bliss continues to just blow the field away at the present time.
He just lapped the 19 truck of Tony Raines, the 88 of Terry Cook, 84 Doug George. He's on a mission.
Yeah, Raines was in 17th, Cook was in 16th.
The 15th place truck right now is Kevin Sawinski, and the next one is about 20 car lengths in front of Mike Bliss. Looks like Mike Wallace got by 24 truck of Jack Sprague to the 3rd position.
Mike Wallace is having just a dandy day here in Bakersfield. He's really settled into this race. And of course, this is the one that got away from him. This was one that he owned, had it in his pocket, was there, ready for him to be in victory lane a year ago. Boom, loses the cylinder, 3 laps to go. Knocked him out of it. So he thinks this one owes him one, and he sure looks like he's trying to get it right now. Mike Wallace in the 52 up to 3rd, Sprague back to 4th, Harvick in 5th, Hensley in 6th, and there you see 5 leaders have swapped that lead 10 times. And we've gone through 4 caution periods. The speed says at 77 miles an hour.
It's getting to where they have lap traffic almost every lap. They're really strung out all the way around this half-mile oval. It's where you got to be on your toes if somebody gets in trouble or whatever. You got to miss it, get through it.
Watching the Otto Ventier field standings, the update, Otto Ventier, the original vent visor, the most practical accessory for your truck.
Mike Wallace probably about 3 seconds behind Ron Hornaday. It's going to take him a while to catch him. Ron's still running pretty good too. Ron's probably about 2 seconds behind our leader, Mike Bliss.
They're running at a new track record. The mark last year by Talsmer was 76 and change. They're up over 77 at the present time through 4 cautions. And no timeout, no midway break anymore. Want to go straight through. Now look at that 52 riding up and moving around that truck back in 22nd and putting the lap down again. Wallace. Meanwhile, here's Hornaday in the 16. He finds himself in 2nd spot. He's running a mile an hour slower than that leader, Mike Bliss, at the present time.
There's Hornaday in the 2nd position.
Now watch that white truck coming through. That'll be your 3rd place truck.
There he is. Number 1 Mike Wallace truck. Trying to put a lap on Greg Biffle. He's just gotten by Tony Roper in the 55.
Walters, and he goes after Biffle now in 19th. Remember that Wallace is your third-place truck, and they are deployed up in front with Bliss in first, Hornaday second, Wallace third, and a fair-sized break back to Sprague in fourth.
There goes your 14th place truck getting lapped, Kevin Sawinski. Bliss is really putting a hurting on him right now.
Stacy Compton, who had such a good start to this race, is back in 9th position. Matt Yoakum has more on Stacy right now.
Ken, Stacy Compton has fought back from that early problems with a flat tire. He went a lap down, he got it back. Now the problem is he's got over 130 laps on his right side tires. He is desperately needing a caution. Although he is still moving to the front, he says his truck is getting very, very slippery.
Yeah, he's right in behind Setzer in the 29 present time, Stacy Compton.
And right back behind Stacy Compton, there's 4 guys that are getting threatened by Mike Bliss to go a lap down. 4 good trucks. You've got Andy Houston, Rick Corelli, Joe Ruttman, and the 18 truck of Butch Miller. And Mike Bliss has just about caught them guys. They're not going to want him by. They're going to want to stay on that lead lap and hope for a caution. Bliss is just so hooked up. He's so fast. He can be patient and do it anyway.
You watch Compton here, and just about 4 truck lengths in front of him is Setzer, and although he may be wearing out that right side, he is definitely closing down. There you see Setzer in the 29, and there's no question he's taking back about a truck length on every lap.
Just got Corelli. He's already gotten Andy Houston. Now he's after the 18 truck, Butch Miller, with Ruttman right in front of him. Look, Ruttman's in 10th position. They're trying to lap up the 10th here.
The way he's been stomping and storming over this field, you would begin to question the tires on that number 2 of Bliss.
Well, see, he short-stopped it when these other guys didn't and got his left sides, and then he come in and got right when everyone else stopped. And Barry Dotson made the right choice there. No question about it. He's putting a lot of good trucks a lap down.
Yeah, he's throttling through them now. Looking forward to his next stop with as many of those leaders 1 lap down to him as possible. Pretty good strategy. 175 of 300 laps have been completed. And you've got Mike Bliss blistering this half-mile, 18-degree bank track, setting a new record lap after lap as he's flying through.
When your truck's that good, this is when it's fun. He's just sitting out there. He's probably not driving as hard right now as he has most all season long. When the truck will do it, it's just it's a blast. This is what it's all about. You want these days every week, but you can't get them every week.
They're special when they happen.
In front of him, it's Butch Miller. Yeah, it's Butch Miller. Butch had just gotten by Ruttman, so now Butch is a 10th place truck, and he's trying to hold off Mike Bliss. He's held him for quite a few laps, but I think his number's about up.
He's held as long as he can.
Well, he's going to keep trying. Don't misunderstand.
Diving into the breach.
Bliss is so fast.
Ron Hornaday sustaining second spot, chasing Mike Bliss in the number 2.
Oh, there's the yellow. Well, this is what Butch Miller was working so hard for and trying for.
99 slowing down Ruttman.
Yeah, he was going to come in the pits and decided since the yellow's out, try to stay on the track like Jimmy Hensley did. He's got a flat tire and he wants to close up to the pace truck and stay only 1 lap down instead of going 2 laps down.
Well, it looks like a real tire
right front flat.
Down on Ruttman in the 99.
I don't think they're wearing these tires out. I think that they're running over debris out there.
Well, it is so porous down on the bottom. If you run that bottom, you're putting those tires at risk. There's no question. You have a real choice to make on this track. Get speed on the bottom. We've seen Bliss run up on the high side and down on the bottom of the track. Here's Ruttman onto pit road. Right front down. Has it in. He'll change right. Get Ruttman back. Some semblance of trying to get. He's now 20th.
20th, 1 lap down.
Yep.
Here comes the leaders. Mike Bliss on the pit road. Will he get left or will he get right? Hornaday coming. We got Mike Wallace in. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Hensley, Boris Said, Jack Sprague, everybody in the lead lap coming down pit road. Stacy Compton, Dennis Setzer, And the last guy in the lead lap, Butch Miller.
Well, this will slap them all back together with 181 laps complete. Matt?
The leader, Barry Dotson's truck of Mike Bliss, makes his way in. They will make left side tire changes on the two trucks. They made the left sides back earlier in the race. They said they're going to put a little more air pressure on the left side because the tires did not build up. Now there's a problem, though, on the 16 truck of Ron Hornaday. He reported in before this caution that he had very little pedal left with the brakes. They think they might have something leaking in the left front. You can see Barry Haley is working underneath the fender, checking out the brake line, putting the tire back on. Let's go to Bobby Gerald. Mike Wallace came in. He has started from 22nd to 3rd. They just changed the left side tires. It was a 13-second stop, a good stop for Tim Cahoot and his guys. And Mike Wallace is looking for a big-time run here in California today.
Impressive. The run by Wallace. Did not have a good qualifying mark. Has certainly made up for it on the track here this afternoon. Mesa Marin Speedway, Bakersfield, California. Third race in the end of the 1998 Craftsman Truck Series battle. Back to the big tracks next week. Can't get any bigger action than we've got here at Bakersfield, but Phoenix on the mile, and then Las Vegas the week after coming up for these great stars. Now let's get to Barry Dotson. He's standing by, has for us this week's AutoZone Tech Fact. Here's Barry Dotson.
The last 4 races, Craftsman Truck Series, could be the toughest. What's even tougher, getting prepared for them. We just left a road course. Now we're at a short track. Next week, we're at a flat mile super speedway. Then we go to a 1.5 miles at Las Vegas. Let me tell you how we prepared for it. We brought 2 trucks out to Sears Point. We brought 2 more in a common carrier. We sent Ultra Wheels to the East Coast to be sold, brought back 2 race trucks. They became backup. Next week, we'll convert last week's road course truck over for Kenny Irwin to run at Phoenix when we run 2 trucks. Mike will be driving last week's backup truck. Sounds confusing, hey? It's a lot more confusing than in 1995 when everybody just had 1 truck and you ran it everywhere.
Boy.
Oh, the good old days. Huh?
Yeah, you got that one down pat. Barry Dotson, who a lot of folks say is moving on. Something different next year. Maybe back to Winston Cup. I think you'll miss this. This has been a fun series right along. Here's Hornaday, and he's been in and out a couple of times here as they continue to administer to this truck that has won for this team 6 times this year. Matt Yoakum is waiting for him down on the end of pit road. We're still under caution, and we're at least a couple, maybe 3 laps away from going green. Matt?
Ted, on the previous stop, they raised the hood to check out the master cylinder and also the right front brake line area. No leaks there. They think the problem is on the right rear. Sammy Gonzalez and Barry Haley are checking it out now. Heading some water to Hornets are checking out. They're not sure they see anything yet. They're also keeping their eye on the pace truck because they don't want to lose a lap. This could take a big blow to Ron Hornaday's championship hopes today.
18 points down to Sprague coming into today. Hornaday comes back out.
Well, he did stay in the lead lap, but the question is, did they fix the brakes? If he has a leak with fluid, it's going to be hard for him to get a good finish here today. You need to use some brakes here. I'm sure he's not overusing them. He gets around this track extremely good, won many times here, but if they've got a failure happening there and they can't correct it, it could be a tough day for him.
Lining up on a restart.
On the other hand, it could be a huge blessing if it's just a matter of tightening a line or tightening a fitting and get the brakes back 100%, then he can get up there and give Bliss a run for his money.
Hornaday pulls back up in 10th. Bliss is your leader, followed by Wallace and Hensley to 3rd. Harvick 4th, Sprague 5th. Stead 6th, Thompson 7th, Miller 8th, Setzer 9th, and Hornaday. Back in front by 5, 6 truck lengths over Wallace as we get this one back under green. Lap 185 is running loose.
We'll see if Mike Wallace can keep Mike Bliss in his sights. Mike's been the dominant truck for about 100 laps now. I mean Bliss, I guess I should say, when they're both Mike. It Look who's creeped up to third, Jimmy Hensley. We knew he'd run good. And he's doing it.
Well, the issue now is, can Hensley stay third, have himself another great finish, and
get some heat from Harvick.
Yep. Harvick there in fourth.
I think those guys really welcomed that caution. Those trucks were starting to slide around. The field would get pretty spread out. And everybody back a little more comfortable. Back racing a little better grip.
Harvick up into third. Harvick takes to third. Hensley falls to fourth. And lying right behind him is Sprague in fifth. And back here in this pile of trucks, there you find the 16. Trying to get himself sorted out.
They're side by side in front of him. He was wanting to go, and neither lane's going.
88 Cook is a lap down, but Compton is very much in this thing. Hornaday has gone up to 8. Compton is in 7th. And Matt Yoakum has more, I believe, on Hornaday's truck.
Well, Fred, you caught a big break with the caution. See if you get the brakes fixed.
Yeah, we found a brake bleeder. It come loose. And the guy's got it tightened back up on the right rear. We're okay now. We're just waiting for the next caution. We'll get our right side. We'll be good to the end.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky and good, but here at Bakersfield, it seems like Ron Hornaday is both.
Hornaday made a big move on the outside around Compton, had him covered, and then found Jay Sauter in front, had to back off and start over again. He thought he had the spot notched, and that Compton was in his grasp. Compton slipped away another time. Stacy Compton down to the bottom, number 86. Here's Biffle, last up on the outside, and here comes Hornaday going back to work. Hornaday is 8th. Compton is 7th. Stacy Compton 2nd on this track just 1 year ago. Loves this place.
Go out there. Those brake leaders they're talking about are kind of in a vulnerable place in the top outer edge of the brake caliper. When they change tires, the wheels flap up against the little bleeder valve that tends to knock them out loose. Sometimes it breaks them off, then you really got a problem, but they're going to overcome it.
Here comes Wallace down on the bottom. This is for first place. Mike Wallace on the bottom, Bliss on the outside. Down they go through turns 3 and 4 into the main straightaway. Hit the pedals, pick it back up to about 112, 115 miles per hour. Lightly on the brakes into turn number 1. Still even across. Bliss on the high side, Wallace on the bottom.
Now this last cycle of pit stops, Mike Bliss took left sides. We'll have to check and see what Mike Wallace took.
Got a spinner in turn number 2. Around goes number 31, Zawinski. Caution down. Caution number 6.
That's another break. I think they'll come back in and get the other 2 tires. If they took left, they'll come back in for rights or vice versa. And then they might be good to the end. We're getting down to about 100 laps to go.
Zawinski in 20th, and you are right. Wallace is in. Bliss is in. Harvick coming in. Sprague is there. Here comes Hensley. Here comes Hornaday. And Boris said, all those top runners now pulling onto pit road.
And Dennis Setzer, the last truck in the lead lap.
Following the action on pit road, there is Mike Wallace with a cool, deliberate drive. Has thrust himself right up into the lead in this thing. Matt?
Well, Ken, you're looking at the 52 truck on the straight. Let's go to Bobby Gerald first. Mike Wallace had an excellent stop. It was just a tick over 11 seconds, and he's back out. Remember, he started 22nd, Matt, and he's charged all the way up now to contend for the lead. Remember, last year, he led a good portion of this race, so Mike Wallace has good runs at the Mesa Marin Raceway.
Look at this land rush down here, trying to get them sorted out.
That's a crowded pit road, too, as they're trying to exit out first. I think Bliss and Wallace got together just a little bit, but I don't think there'll be any problems because of it.
Wallace asserting himself, pulls out in front of Bliss. 1 and 2 on the track after this pit stop. Quick break and back for more of the action from Mesa Marin. Back with you once again. 201 complete. The sort out after the pit stop. Stacy Compton is now your leader. Miller is in 2nd. Wallace is in 3rd. Bliss is in 4th. Sprague is in 5th. Hornaday is back in 8th as they take green. 202 now complete. 300 laps the distance.
Butch Miller's Dodge is showing the effect of the short track. Getting a few wrinkles on all corners. Left side's not too bad. It's the passenger side there.
after that pit stop. Comes out in first. Got 2 or 3 trucks between himself, and the battle for second spot begins to heat up once again. On the outside is Bliss. On the inside is Mike Wallace, and these two are thumping and bumping as they went out of 2.
Oh, they're going to split Butch Miller. Butch wisely lifts out of it.
Thank you very much. And Bliss on the outside is there. Wallace, and no part of that.
Now, Mike Wallace was just out running Bliss before the tire change. Now Bliss is back on top.
Down on pit road a moment ago. Key move, you heard about it. Here's how it looks. See that tire dropped off?
Off the Hornaday's truck. I think Bliss maybe would have beat Mike Wallace out of the pits had it not been for that.
Matt has Barry Dodson.
Jimmy Hensley.
Matt? Ooh, Jimmy Hensley.
Blowing up. I believe that was oil smoke. He had a pretty good fire coming out the back. Still does.
Get out of it, Jimmy. Get out of it.
Still does.
Jimmy.
He's being told to get out of it. They don't mean just out of the throttle. They mean out of that frying pan. Jimmy Hensley, number 43.
Okay, fire's out, fire's out, fire's out.
Looks like a pretty strong oil fire. It must have exploded an engine.
So the Cummings, number 43, goes up in smoke.
That's too bad. He was having a good run. He was getting that Dodge going.
Yep. Won at Nashville, and this track plays so similar to Nashville in the opinion of so many of these great drivers. The safety crew coming around to pick him up. We're caution number 7.
You can see a huge oil streak following the truck down through the grass there to where it stopped at. Well, that thing came apart big.
Here's what happened.
That's a pretty good fire.
They do a lot of barbecuing out there. They could have used that one.
This caution may take a few laps. I think he's oiled up 3/4 of the racetrack. Heavily, not just a little spit here and there. He's all right, though.
Bobby Jarrow with Jimmy Hensley.
Well, here's Jimmy Hensley, and not the way you wanted to see your day in. You all right?
Yeah, we're okay. The rear exploded in the truck. Had a great truck. I mean, we've had problems all day. You know, cut a right front tire down early, went to the rear, came back, running in the top 5. You know, had a good truck. Shame, you know, the Cummins Players Inc., Southern Pride Dodge, you know, we hung in there. Just day wasn't our day.
Last week a 5th at Sears Point. This week out of the race, Nat Yoko.
Bobby, on the previous caution, Barry, your truck came in second but went out 4th. Did you hit a tire from the 16 truck?
Yeah, for the second time. They're doing the best they can. Heck, we do all our shopping in Napa. But Cup's got one more guy. It's easy to pick up the right rear. We have to pretty much delegate somebody to do that, and it's hard to do. And I told him, I said, hey, we're picking ours up. Try to get yours up. It damaged the nose a little bit the first run, but it actually tightened the truck up, so we're leaving it alone. It's just a tight situation, and I'm too old to be over there, to be honest with you. Our ASC Ford's awesome today. Mike's done a good job, and we're just hoping that can continue.
Well, Barry Dowson's been around a long time. He cut his racing teeth at Petty Enterprises in the 70s. Ken?
And his truck is now in second to this truck, number 86, Stacy Compton. Dodge California Truck Stop 300 will continue on TNN after this. They'll take green at lap 212. Here they are out of turn 4. You're riding with Ron Hornaday right behind Jack Sprague as they battle for the Craftsman Truck Championship. Down into turn number 1. Compton in front, Bliss in second, Wallace in third. Sprague and Hornaday hard at it again.
I think Sprague's been battling his chassis all day, trying to get it like he wants it, and Hornaday had some brake trouble that he put behind him now. He's ready for that championship.
Here comes Bliss down to the bottom as they came up out of the hole in turn 2 where you drive up that hill. He stuck it down there, but he couldn't get through. Compton not giving a bit of ground. Back into turn number 1. Stacy Compton. So strong here a year ago with that third-place finish.
So strong today, he made up a lap. He was down 1 lap. Now he's leading the race inside 100 laps to the finish.
Bliss to the outside. Pit strategy on 86 Compton, who took the lead when they made that stop under caution.
welcome. Well, Ken, I talked to the crew chief, Kevin Cram. He told me right now they've got about 100 laps on the left side tires, about 30 or so on the right. They're questioning right now whether to gamble and go the distance. They can do it on fuel. They're not just sure how far they can go on those left side tires.
Now here comes Bliss back to the bottom. Wallace, the white number 52 in the catbird seat. Ooh. I think he touched him. Got him over. Here he comes. They press for the lead in the main straightaway.
Looks like Mike Bliss is going to get him. He's got a good run off the second turn, down the back stretch into turn 3. Stacy coming back, so he drove into the third turn awful hard. And Mike Wallace is right behind him saying, come on, guys, stay beside a few more laps. I'll pass you both.
Hornaday has moved around Sprague. Hornaday up to third, Sprague back to fourth. This is where the issue is for the moment. For the point, Mike Bliss is there. Compton on the outside.
Two blue Ford F-150s. They look just alike from the straight-on view.
And there you see Wallace in that pure one, riding third, and closing ground quickly is Hornaday. Hornaday moving down on this trio.
Boy, this has really become a two-groove racetrack. They are side to side for quite a few laps now for the lead.
This is such a great racetrack.
Here comes Hornaday. You know, got a Ford truck fight for the lead.
If you're one that just sort of about short track racing, you need to see Mesa Marine. Get out here and enjoy one. This is a super racetrack. Here comes Hornaday. All four.
Mike Wallace is able to get by Stacy Compton with Mike Bliss. So we have new leader, new second. And I think pretty quick we're going to have a new third. As Ron Hornaday starts to work on Stacy Compton.
Remember, Sprague coming into this race with an 18-point lead. That isn't much the way they accumulate points in the Craftsman Truck Series. And with two major races remaining next Saturday, Phoenix. Here comes Hornaday. He's on the outside. And that Royal Crown truck. Stacy Compton fends him off another time. The 16 looks like it has just a little more juice. But Compton is driving a beautiful race. Hornaday just can't get that move on it.
Well, I'm sure when Stacy Compton looks in the rearview mirror and sees that 16 truck behind him, he's kind of thinking, oh no, but they race together a lot. He knows what it's all about. Hornaday needs to win this race. He needs to catch up as much as he can on Jack Sprague. Right now he's only got 5 points on him. Just Sprague's very next truck. Hornaday has to get in front.
Harvick is in 6th. Savage is in 7th. Setzer is in 8th. Miller 9th. Pirelli now 10th. Jay Sauter has fallen to 11th. Let's talk about the trucks in the lead lap.
He's got a good run on him here coming off the second turn. I think Hornaday's going to take the spot away.
Go out there.
Now he's got to get up there to Mike Wallace and get him too. We're winding down in the laps. We're about 76 laps to go, 75 laps to go. Now Sprague's going to make it too.
Here we go. Sprague bounces it off the bottom.
Up the backstretch into the third turn. Jack's going to take the position. Here comes Kevin Harvick.
The kid, Harvick, 22 years of age, raced every one of the 4 major events, the Southwest Tour, the regular show, the Winston West show, and now the Truck Series, the Craftsman Truck Series.
He's running a good race. He's got to lead a few laps early in the going, and he's still right up there, a contender.
Up to 5th spot, Kevin Harvick. We'll take a break. 228 of 300 laps complete. Mike Bliss, for the moment, has it, but Hornaday begins to lurch. Coming up this coming Saturday on TNN Motorsports, the rain-delayed NHRA drag race from Heartland Park, Topeka. Important race to decide the Winston Championship. See NHRA Today's special presentation of the Parts America National. Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern on TNN. Caution is out. Big crash in the back straightaway. And among the victims, it is Vidovich, the kid, the 17-year-old, with a hard hit.
Wow, that was a mess.
Sedgwick involved. but it is the 5 that really took the brunt of that storm.
I think we've got some replays of that one. That track is just flooded with fluid back there in the backstretch. This one's going to take a while. The number 5 truck there, the young kid.
Boris Said is in it, too, the number 44.
Vidovic.
Ah.
I think Boris went around first, and then people started running into people and overcorrecting and getting up into the outside wall, and it was a mess.
Try to show you what happened in just a moment, but there is the outcome. Here's what happened. 8th caution of the day.
Yep, Boris Said's going around. He's gotten together with 31 Sawinski. They both go around. Boris gassed to try to do a 360, and the 5 truck comes in, nails him hard on the right side, bounces him into the outside wall. Then here comes Bill Sedgwick, and Ron Barfield repaired his truck. He gets out, gets a little piece of it. That 5 truck is very damaged.
Hard
So is
hit.
Boris, unfortunately. I think that'll end Boris's day as well.
Hard hit on the 17-year-old, having a good run, too. Just got caught up in something. Into the wall about 90 miles per hour. Most serious incident of the day in the Dodge California Truck Stop 300 at Mesa Marine Speedway in Bakersfield. Back straightaway. It all began when the Boris Said, number 44, got caught up out here.
Now, Boris and Sawinski got together, and they both spun, and then it looked like they were at Bristol or Daytona or something like that. It just, everybody went everywhere.
44 came off the bottom, collected the number 5, and sent him head-on into the outside wall, and it really tore that thing up. Vidovic, the 17-year-old, was running 21st. Now, we've seen him walk away from the truck. The kid's okay. He and his dad brought that machine here. First time they've run in the truck series. They're going to need a front flipper more on that one.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like the impact ruptured the fuel pump and started spilling raw fuel out. He had a pretty good fire going there for a little bit, but he did get out, and he's okay.
This kid was Rookie of the Year at Willow Springs last year. Came up as a karting champion. Had himself a pretty good learning day, and now he's had the biggest lesson of all. He's a senior in high school down in Santana, California.
That's probably where he has to be tomorrow morning.
Boris Said's truck gives us these pictures. That was a hit.
Camera's tough, but not that tough. You can hear those RPMs really wind up as Boris nailed the throttle to try to make it do a full 360. And he almost pulled it off, but didn't quite work out.
Boris Said, victorious. Sears Point had a great qualifying run, but today, not going to be his day. There's the remains of number 44 after it was whaled. Now, the situation up in front, there you see Mike Bliss in first. You see Ron Hornaday in second. Remember a year ago, Hornaday in this race, rear end gears, gave out. He ended up 23rd. Well, take a look at what's over in the garage area today. Mike Wallace, same thing has happened to him. He came all the way up in the second spot. Such a brilliant day for Mike Wallace. Bobby Gerald's with him now.
And Ken, he had charged all the way from 22nd. He had an awesome truck today with Mike Wallace, the rear end giving way. How disappointing is this to you, especially given that you led this race last year for so long and then had a similar problem?
I don't think you can put it into words how disappointing it is. I mean, Pure Later Pure One team did a perfect job. You know, I didn't qualify that well. I told them we'd race really well, and we did race well. It's unfortunate we've been bit 2 years in a row at this racetrack, but as they say, that's racing, you know. But I'm going to take a moment since I'm sitting here talking to you. It's my anniversary next week. I'm not going to be home. Carla, happy anniversary. And my son, Matt, it's his 3rd birthday next week, so happy birthday to Matt. And it's disappointing, but I guess all you can say is we'll go to Phoenix and try to win one there.
Still has a bit of a smile on his face, guys, despite the bad luck.
That's a tough one. 3 laps from the finish last year, his race. Cylinder went down. Now, I mean, it's strange, too, with Hornaday, because that same thing happened at Sears last week, happened to him last year. Well, now Hornaday's up there, and Wallace is the victim. Stay tuned. Several of the leaders have taken this opportunity to be on pit road. We've seen Hornaday in. We've seen Harvick as well come on pit road. Compton was there. Let's get out of Matt Yoakum as to what the situation is with Ron Hornaday.
Well, Ken, this will be the first of 2 stops under this caution for Ron Hornaday. He came in the first time. They raised the hood, put some brake fluid in the brake master cylinder. This time, he's going to be headed towards pit road, is what Fred Graves is planning with Ron Hornaday. Maybe the next time by, come in and take on left side tires. They are out of right side tires. Stacy Compton came in under that caution. He took on left side tires. His truck is having a little bit of trouble cutting, but it should do a little bit better now he's got fresh left side tires, because those tires they pulled off had over 150 laps on them.
We're showing 248 complete, 249 when they come by this time. Now the Auto Week racing schedule for you, and it's getting down to payoff time in this Craftsman Truck Series next Saturday on the mile at Phoenix, and then coming up the week after, Las Vegas Motor Speedway will conclude the Craftsman Truck 1998 campaign. 27 great events. Call 1-800-232-1522 now for a 52-week subscription to Auto Week. The special TV price, $19.95. Every week, Auto Week is the first with all the inside news, racing, personalities, driving impressions, everything. Call now. Auto Week, 1-800-232-1522. Don't delay. The offer is limited. Matt Yoakum?
Well, Ken, Ron Hornaday just left his pit stall with a 16 truck. They changed the left side tires. We told you they were out of right. They did make an air pressure adjustment because the truck was having trouble cutting in the corner, meaning the truck was tight. So they made an air pressure adjustment, hoping that fixes the 16 truck.
Of the 7 trucks on the lead lap, I think Mike Bliss is the only one that did not come in and get 2 tires. We're losing lead lap trucks so quickly here. Mike Wallace dropped out with the rear end, and Borstead just had a big wreck. And I think we're down to 7 trucks on the lead lap, but the championship contenders are among them.
As they line up, you have Bliss first, Sprague second, Harvick third, Compton fourth, Miller fifth, Setzer at 6th, Hornaday 7th, lap down, Corelli 8th. Following Corelli, you have Sauter 9th. Walters 10th. He's having a very good day. That Walters kid had trouble early, had tire go down. All right, ready on a restart.
50 laps to go. Corelli, whose tire strategy pays off now. Corelli's down a lap, but he's fast.
He has so much experience on this track. I thought if there was a dark horse, it would be Corelli to get the job done today. That new crew chief immediately put on victory lane. Now he's a lap back. He's not going to make it up here.
Harvick's trying Sprague on the outside.
Take a look at that. 75. Oh!
Got a little sideways off turn 2 there.
Costly, too. Sprague beat him down into turn 3.
I don't think that battle's over, though. Well, Sprague's got him for the moment, but Harvick's running pretty good. He's been good all day. Little nudge. Hello, Jack.
Jimmy Hensley is back out. Hensley back on the track at number 43. And Mike Wallace is back on the track. Whoa, what was that all about?
Ruffin way up at the top of the racetrack in 3 and 4. I don't think he has a gut tire.
One of those hold your breath. We're getting a look here at 199. What?
I almost think we needed to see that just an instant sooner. I think he might have bounced together with the
Walters.
Yeah. Scott
Sure
Walters.
looked that way.
Shot him up the racetrack. Because he's back up to full speed now. I think everything's fine. Just a scary moment for the Exide Ford.
Bobby?
We're down here now with Forrest Stead, and Forrest, a scary moment there on the back straightaway. You feeling all right?
Yeah, I mean, I felt better. I feel like Mike Tyson punched me out. Probably wouldn't take much to knock me out. It's a shame for the Federated Auto Parts truck. I mean, everybody 1-800 Flack. We had a really good truck, and you know, it's a tough short track. We were running competitive all day, so you know, I was pretty happy. But about lap 200, our battery gave out and just started to miss and get slower and slower and slower. And I guess I was holding up the guys behind us, and somebody turned me around, and that's just short track racing. And it's a shame for Federated Auto Parts and 1-800 Collect, but right now I feel pretty drunk, so it's a shame, but at least we ran competitive on short track for the first time, and I feel pretty happy about that.
The medic standing by pretty close down here with Boris Ed, who said that he was knocked out momentarily for a second, so a tough break for last week's winner at Steers Point, yes.
Took an awful ramp, staggered away from the car. Wish him well for the future.
Not near as much fun as last week, huh?
Winner last week. Quick break, and we'll be back with more. Under caution, 9th of the day, lap 266. You're not going to believe what happened this time. The sign fell down. Hey, back straightaway, just one little chunk.
See, those trucks are so fast down that back straightaway. They struck that plywood wall right off its frame.
There's your sign. Instant. Store it. Your place or ours. See, we really need to know what else that sign said, Chuck. We're in trouble here. Anyway, TNN Salute to Motorsports is coming up next week. Join host Jeff Gordon for all kinds of motorsports specials. You'll see profiles of some of the great racing pioneers and rock as country music celebrates the 50 years of NASCAR. Plus, there's Critical Points, races, Winston Cup, Busch Grand National, NHRA, those moments that meant so much. It's all on TNN's Salute to Motorsports, starting October the 22nd. Folks from Palmersville, Tennessee are having a good time out here. And if you're from back east and you have not seen Mesa Marin, they run here on a weekly basis. This is a big weekend. 4 nights of racing. They've been packed night after night. It's a track that you will enjoy, I assure you. Beautiful half mile, 18-degree banks, great straightaways, built like a paper clip and built fast. They put a sealer on here that really has worked. Hornaday qualified 3 miles per hour faster than they set on the pole a year ago.
A small half-mile racetrack, that's a lot.
Yeah, big jump. Here's some of the fans. Those are some of the additional seats brought in after they sold out the entire main grandstand for this Craftsman truck. Last half-mile race, 12th time this year that the Craftsman trucks have appeared on what they call the short tracks. I call them the action tracks. I think you'll ever see better action.
The racing tracks, that's for sure.
Real racing.
I'm going racing next weekend.
Hey, there's some of the Sierra Mountains. You know, we're just in the entry into the San Joaquin Valley when you come into Bakersfield. Great farm country, oil country. Raise lettuce out here, and they raise avocados, and they raise trucks. This is where the first truck grew up. Sprouted right out of the backstretch here over in that building.
Yeah, I seen him out there watering them.
94. See him watering those trucks? I sure did a Methodist job. These trucks are just great. Hey, NASCAR Thunder, race into the all-new and official store of NASCAR. Visit NASCAR Thunder, now open in cities everywhere. For locations and more information, call 615-883-7000, Monday through Friday. With Chuck Bound, Ken Squire. Hey, you're going to be out here running the trucks at Phoenix and at Vegas, is what I understand.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I haven't run a truck now in a couple of months, and I'm going to be both Phoenix and Vegas for Don Vandenbosch, Hill Machinery, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then off weekend between those two races, I'm going to run my little brother's Busch car at Rockingham. So I've got 3 weeks of racing coming up. I can't wait.
Good for you. Good for you. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Get ready to settle this thing out. It's ready to sugar off here this afternoon at Mesa Marin. We're down to it. Can Bliss hold on? Will Sprague take it? Will Hornaday come by and take it? We'll see. Hornaday on pit road. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Ken, the 16 truck has stopped at the end of pit road. He came in 6th. They had really nothing to lose. He was complaining his truck was tight in the center of the corner and even tighter off. So Fred Graves called him in. They took 2 rounds out of the chassis. They think that, hey, look, we may have to adjust on this truck a little bit more if we get one more caution. He was complaining he just could barely handle. The truck was like a snowplow just climbing up the racetrack.
Stacy Compton also on pit road, and Miller. Butch is having a good run today. Stays up there with those leaders as we get down to decide this one. Rick Crawford back in.
If Hornaday wants to make more adjustments, they better hurry up. He's down to 25 laps to go by the time we go green here. It's going to be time to get it done.
Bliss, Sprague, Harvick lined up 1, 2, 3, 4. Setzer right there with him.
Bliss is strong, but he's got the oldest tires right now. Both Harvick and Sprague, Setzer, all have fresher tires, at least on one side. At least 2 tires are fresher.
Bobby Jarrell has more on Mike Bliss.
Well, we had just talked with Barry Dodson, the crew chief for Mike Bliss, and asked him what his biggest concern was right now. And he said he does not like to see all these yellow flag laps because it's taken Bliss about 3 or 4 laps to get up to speed on each restart. So they're a little bit concerned right now about this next restart, especially with Sprague sitting right behind him.
Yeah, but he'd rather have Sprague behind him than Hornaday behind him when it comes to restarts, I think.
9th caution coming to conclusion. This time by, they'll take green. They'll be at lap 275. 25 laps to go to decide it. Mike Bliss leads him down. Sprague in 2nd. Harvick in 3rd. Setzer in 4th. Hornaday in 5th. Compton in 6th. Miller in 7th. In your lead lap. And they're showing Carilli in that same lead lap.
Okay, let's be ready.
Rick's back in 8th. And Sauter is 1 lap down in 9th. Green is out.
Exactly 25 laps to go. Mike Bliss has to turn 1. The outside of Jay Sauter is 1 lap down. Looks like Sprague's going to be able to get by Sauter too. Sauter's going to cut him a little slack here.
Bounce as they come off the corner off Jay Sauter. Half a truck length advantage.
Harvick's trying to get clear of Sauter as well and let the lead lap trucks fight it out these last 25 laps.
Beating and banging as we get down to the end of this one at Bakersfield, California's Mesa Marin. Sprague deployed 2nd.
Barry was worried about the restart for Mike Bliss. It's looking pretty good. They've already run 3 laps. Keeping it smooth and straight, just like he's supposed to.
Napa Field standing update. Napa Auto Parts and Napa, they keep America running. And right now we've got the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series running. It's a AAA rating for these guys today. Turned it.
Can't pull off the pass, though. He had to fall back in the line. I think Harvick had to get out of the gas a little bit. He was all over the back end of Sprague and didn't want to turn him.
Gets down to the bottom. He's home. Going to take the spot.
Harvick couldn't keep it down to the bottom. He just kind of slipped up there. I think he got his tires a little warm coming off turn 4 the previous lap. As he broke it loose and got a little sideways.
280 this time by. 20 laps to go.
Sprague's starting to try to put it on Bliss, but Bliss is still getting off that corner so good. I think Sprague's getting in a little deeper, but Bliss is getting off a little better. And I think getting off the corner is a little more important.
Hornaday has got a lot of making up to do, and I don't believe there's time. Hornaday in 5th.
I think
it's on Harvick, but he's about, what, 8 truck lengths back there.
Yep.
You think what?
I think if you'd asked Jack Sprague before this race started, you know, how many points do you think Hornaday will gain on you? I think he's going to be pleasantly surprised. He's in a position to actually increase his point lead and not lose any.
Harvick right there in 4th. Puts the nose of his truck right up against Setzer. There he is. Now he is finished in his 2 previous truck performances on this track, 8 and 11. So don't discount this 22-year-old in the number 75 truck, Kevin Harvick, the kid.
You can't discount any of them first 4. They are nose to tail, and it's showtime. 17 laps to go.
Hornaday closing down on Harvick and bringing with him Compton into the picture. There's your front 4. There's 5th and 6th. Hornaday, Compton. And you've got 6 trucks all in here together. I don't think they ever save anything, but for this last performance in the short track series, the 12th and final this year at Mesa Marin, this one's got something extra, something far. Yes. All gathering. Setzer after Sauter.
No.
That's right there.
I bet you Bliss would like to see Setzer rub a little more on Sprague.
Going in.
Now he's got a run at him.
Setzer on the bottom for second. This has been the track of upset. Talsma did it last year. Is it
Kevin Harvick
hit.
turned his brake sideways a little bit.
And that's all Hornaday needed.
Setzer is going after Bliss.
288 complete this time around. And 12 to go. Here comes Setzer.
Stacy Compton's gotten by Hornaday. Hornaday's dropped back to 6th position.
Graham's got his horns down, and that Dodge is going after Mike Bliss.
But this win is up for grabs.
Back straightaway, Dennis Setzer sneaks a peek at the inside, sticks it in there. Bliss says, no thank you. Gate closed.
It's going to come right down to the wire. This is what it's all about.
10 to go this time by Matt Yoakum on Mike Bliss.
Ken Squire.
There he goes.
Mike Bliss's crew chief just told him, look, he says, go to the opposite box. Which box has got more advanced timing? 2 degrees. It'll give you a little more torque. Hopefully you can hold off the 29 truck. The 29 truck at Dennis Setzer is looking for redemption. He spun out, going for the victory in Indianapolis.
Dennis Setzer is there. Bliss going high. Here, Setzer's loose.
This break going by Bliss, taking second. I think Bliss tried to get on it and get a run back at Setzer, and he just got on a little too hard, broke it loose, turned it sideways. He was up high coming off turn 2.
Compton's into 4th.
Setzer's got a little bit of breathing room. He's got, there he goes.
He's around.
Hornaday
He's to the wall. In it. Caution down. Number 10. I tell you what.
Mike Bliss's year, he's just unbelievable how many races he's led right up till the final stages. Nothing go amiss.
Well, you've got Dennis Setzer out in front. Talsma pulled off the upset last year. And now you've got Dennis Setzer sitting there looking for his first truck win. You've got Jack Sprague, 4-time winner this year, right behind him.
Looks like Mike Bliss has a bent tie rod on the right side. The right front wheel's turned out a lot as he's trying to come down pit road.
Caution number 10.
Yeah, the right front wheel hit the wall and bent the tie rod.
What a way to end your day.
Yep,
this is like Mike Wallace a year ago, getting right down to here. 3 laps to go.
Bent the right rear wheel as well. That's too bad. He's not going to get a strong finish now.
Rocker arms went sour on him. Let's go down to Matt.
Ken, there's also a cut brake line on the 2 truck. A heartbreaker for Mike Bliss. Barry Dodson told him, swap boxes to be more advanced timing boxes to give a little more torque to try to hold off the 29. And then this heartbreaker happened. Boy, they've had such a heartbreak season. Mike Bliss is leaving the season's end. They're hoping for a victory. Try to end this year on a high note, but some definite damage to the 6 truck. Is towed out greatly. He's going to try to limp back out here.
Mike Wallace came back on the track, incidentally, 12 laps down. He stays about 20th on the field. So he had his great run. Now that same kind of misfortune happens to Bliss.
Yeah, we're looking at Mike Bliss coming in the first turn there. Just simply goes around on him. You know, he's broke it loose big time coming off turn 2 when he lost the lead. And, sometimes these radial tires just, they don't like that. You take a big slide on them and they quit gripping for a while. It just went around. That's too bad.
Hornaday took a pretty good bite out of Stacy Compton there, too, as he got down on the inside. Compton checking up. Bliss back in again. Green is out.
5 to go.
For all of it. Dennis Setzer. Great little racer out of the Carolinas. Now driving for one of the top Dodge teams. Let's see what he's going to do. Can he stay there?
He's going to stand on that thing and say, see you guys later. He hopes. But he's doing it so far.
Well, he stood on it a couple of times on out from underneath him. He doesn't want that to happen now with that low-fire performance.
Exceptional good grip off the corners. He's really accelerating good off the corners. He's able to put the gas pedal down and use that horsepower that he has available to him.
Easy on the brake into 1. Sprague stays in 2nd. Compton coming 3rd. Hornaday is there in 4th. Riding that 5th position. There you have the kid, Harvick. And look at this. 4 truck length advantage now goes to Hanover, North Carolina's Dennis Setzer. His best finish has been 6th. He did that at Martinsville, Virginia. 14th in the series. Stacy Compton wants a shot at second place where he finished a year ago here at Mesa Marin. He works on Sprague in the 24. White flag and 1 to go.
One more lap.
Dennis Setzer.
I kind of think you'll see Dennis win a few more races, Bob Keselowski.
Ooh.
Mopar.
Compton threw one on Sprague and turned him in turn 2.
Hornaday going to make a dive on the outside in the final lap. That's not going to work. Just can't get the grip.
It's a win.
Setzer wins it. Good for him.
It's a win for Dodge. It is a win for Dennis.
Jack Sprague, I think he just gained 10 points on Ron Hornaday.
Let's go down, and the winning finish award is going to go to Ron Keselowski for sure. Keselowski Racing Stable out of Michigan. One of the proudest racing families that Michigan has ever produced, has themselves another victory, and this one comes with Dennis Setzer at the controls. What a day. You're riding with Dennis as he brings it to a halt down here in Victory Lane at Mesa Marin. And let's get down there and meet the winner of today's 300-lap, 150-mile Craftsman Truck Series Championship bet.
Ron Keselowski, congratulations. How does it feel to break the stranglehold that Chevrolet has had here on not only this series, but this racetrack?
Well, it's great. We've been waiting a long time to win a race since Richmond last year. That Mopar Cummins truck, we had it all together today, and we really thought coming to this race we could win this race because we practiced good, the truck run good, and we were so close in so many races this year. We finally got a payback.
Congratulations to you. Go celebrate with your guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Plasticoat, the official spray paint of NASCAR, proud to sponsor the winning Fisher Award, and that finish award goes to the Keselowski family today. Plasticoat presents $1,000 to the crew chief of the highest finishing Craftsman truck in this awards program. $10,000 at the end of the year, and ready to pop out of that truck and into Victory Lane to celebrate is Dennis Setzer. Let's go to the GM Victory Lane with Matt Yoakum and Dennis.
First-time winner, Dennis Setzer, climbs out. It says Bob Keselowski got a uniform, but it's Dennis' first career Truck Series victory. Gives a big cheer to the crowd. Dennis, congratulations, an outstanding effort.
You're
doing great. He does it.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. You know, I was sitting around home waiting on the telephone to ring all year, and Mr. Wahlberger called me, and the Keselowskis called me and invited me to run Milwaukee. It's just been a dream come true. You know, I think Bob and Kay, they're the greatest people in the world. Dodge Motorsports, you know, just a lot of people. Howard Comstock come on board and takes care of this program. You know, the Goodyear tires, we run about 190 laps there one time on Goodyear tires today on the right side. Pretty awesome deal right here. But, you know, Mopar, great sponsors. I think I'll be associated with them next year. I hope so. It's going to be awful good people right there. Thank you.
How tough was it to be patient out there today?
Well, it really was. You know, it was a patient type track right there. Everyone pitted for tires at different time. We got in good position there. We almost got a lap down, saved our right sides, and had some good rides at the end of the race, and worked out perfect for us.
That's Dennis Setzer, first-time winner. And, guys, he is the 5th driver this season to win his first race on TNN.
Dennis Setzer. Oh, gosh. In the old days, the battles between the Isaacs and the Setzers, they were famous in the Carolinas. And here's a chip off the old block. Another Setzer looks great. There you are. Once again, looking over Bakersfield, California. Great racing community. Now our Mopar high performer of the event. Let's split it up a little today. Just because the Mopar landed in Victory Lane, you haven't got to give it to him. Mopar Chrysler Corporation, parts in the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle folks. Give it to Butch Miller in number 18. What a great run Miller had today, finishing in 7th spot. And it's a Mopar down there celebrating the top spot again today with Dennis Setzer, the driver, as you take a final look at the standings on this just gem of a racetrack. Take a look at the total standings here. A final word from you, Chuck?
Well, it was a great race like we thought. A lead change right in the last few laps, and it's always fun to see a new guy win.
And a surprise, a good surprise for all involved. Thank you for being with us. I want to thank the Collins folks, the family who put this track together for building such a beautiful place to watch a race. Hey, for Chuck Bound and Bob Jarrow with us today and Matt Yoakum, hope you've enjoyed Craftsman Truck Series final short track race of 1998. We had all the racing and wrecking, just like we said at the top, and at the end, a surprise winner, a champion family in racing from North Carolina. The Sectors have another one to be proud of.